welcome back to our video podcast series here it's called Let's Go Wells. Today we're joined by junior Joe Horne. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's excited.
Of course. So Joe is not obviously, a junior in our baseball team. So let's go back a little bit. Tell us about some of any of your high school experience, how you got here, kind of who recruited you, what the recruitment process was like, and kind of start from there.
Yeah, so I'm from Long Island, a town called Hicksville, kind of Nassau County, right outside of Queens. A lot different from up here, hectic. So I played obviously baseball in high school, football, a little bit of basketball. Kind of hung up the sneakers a little bit earlier, but so football and base were my kind of sports, 4 years. And I knew I wanted to play a college sport. Baseball was kind of my first passion, my first love as a kid growing up. My sister went to Ithaca College down the road. I fell in love with the area. Like I said, back home was very hectic. Not a lot of, lakes, nature. We got beaches,
yeah,
but
sure.
I knew I wanted to go somewhere up here. I got in contact with David Valcente, the coach here at the time, and he thought it'd be a good fit for me as a baseball player and academically. So I was looking at a few other schools, but I think the whole time I kind of wanted to end up here, and luckily it kind of worked out athletically and academically.
Awesome. Yeah, we're happy to have you, and you've come back 3 years in a row now, so must be doing something right. So in these 3 years, you've gotten a new coach, right? So kind of take me through a little bit of, I don't know, maybe like the differences from when you started to now, and maybe some things that you like.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I was recruited by the past coach, but he left like the week before my freshman year. So I was talking to Coach Stevens last year, and he's like, "You're basically my recruit," because I've known nothing but him, which is, he's been great. It's nothing to say, nothing bad to say. I've loved my experience here. I think he, along with so many other coaches at Wells, care for their players on and off the field. Whether it's tough love on the field, he always lets us know that. It's all love. He's just trying to make us better, which, you respect that, because as a player you want to play the best you could play. And, it's not always going to be the easy way, but I think he tries to set us up for success on the field, and then when we graduate, for the next 40, 50 years. I can only speak upon the baseball, but as far as my experience here, it's been second to none. I've really enjoyed it. And, it's weird being a junior now. I felt like the young guy. COVID kind of scrapped freshman year. Sophomore year was a little just different as well, so it's weird because we got seniors who I still feel like a kid to them, but then we have first year and sophomore students who are like looking at me as an older guy, so I'm kind of still feeling it's kind of weird. I guess now I'm an old guy, I don't know, but I still think I'm young. But
yeah, you kind of lost some of those almost like developmental years with COVID, kind of being there for any new recruits that come in, and kind of jumping into that leadership role. So what are you studying here?
I'm a psychology major.
Okay. What's the plan? Do you have a plan after? I know you got another year.
I guess
Tough question, but
it's funny. I was never really. This is gonna sound very jock and athletic. I want to get into coaching, but I guess a more deeper answer would be I definitely think the mental side of sports is so underrated. Baseball. You think of slumps. I've gone through a bad slump last year, and I think we could all do it physically at this level, but I think it's up here a lot of the time. And even outside of sports, I think mental health is huge. So I'd love to do some, whether it's sports psychology. I'd want to coach, but I also think just in general you could apply psychology to so many different things.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of like you said, in these times, mental health is huge, and especially with our teams, we try and make sure that, especially at Wells, that everyone knows kind of where they can go if they need help. Like you said, you have a good relationship with the coach, so all the coaches are definitely very open to that, which we love. Season coming up starts you're already practicing, but games start relatively soon. It's kind of like the first semi-normal one in a little while. What are you looking forward to? What do you think of the team?
Oh, man, we're pumped. We're excited. I think we leave for Long Island. I'm going back. We're playing back down Long Island, so I'm pumped for that. But I think overall as a team, we're young. Like I said, a lot of our older guys, we're still kind of young in a sense. We've had really one full season. Luckily, a lot of us last year in my class got a lot of good experience last year, got a lot of playing time. So I think we're going to try to carry our past experiences to this year. But overall, we're really young. But I think that's good because you almost, as a team, we don't know what to expect. I think we're just going to play. We're not going to, think too much. And obviously we do have some older guys, some fifth years, which I think we're going to really lean on their experience. But I mean, our conference is very tough, but I mean, I think no doubt we should make the playoffs. So we're just excited. I don't know. I can't think of any sophisticated terms. We're just pumped. I mean,
of course. I mean, like I said, it's been a little while since you've been able to go through like a complete season, start to finish. There's a lot to look forward to. Like you said, a lot of talented players. It's a tough conference, but I mean, you kind of just set the tone here, setting a little projection that you can make the playoffs. So, but that's great. So far, I know, like you said, things have changed a lot as far as like being on campus with just the pandemic and everything. What are some of the highlights you think of the past couple of years that you've been here?
So I guess as a student, I'm trying to think highlights just being in the community. We're a smaller school, so even if you're an athlete, you get to dabble in different stuff around campus, whether it's jobs, classes, clubs. Athletically, I feel like a favorite memory. Was that kind of the question?
Yeah.
I think my first year here, we were down in Florida for a spring trip, and we were playing RIT, and they're a team from a, I guess, more prestigious conference, or
right.
They're just RIT is a great institution. I mean, but and we were playing them. COVID was happening, and they said it was going to be the last game, and we were down by 8 runs in like the 9th inning, and we were pulling senior by senior because it was like a mock senior day in a sense.
Right.
So we had I think I subbed out one of our senior second baseman. We had all freshmen, just the young guys, and somehow we came back by 8-9 runs, and we ended up winning in extras. So I mean, we almost dogpiled at the end. And as someone who's I've never got the experience to win a championship in high
right.
school, after we were throwing up our gloves, it was a good way to end a bad situation. So I think when I think back to athletic memories, so far that's my favorite. I mean, there's performances in games that I like to think about, but I feel like just as a team, and we didn't get a ring or a trophy at the end of that, but I mean, just the memories I feel like is what's going to last from that.
Yeah, that's definitely memorable. I always think it's in my head. I always think it's funny that like in a trip like that, you guys went all the way to Florida to play RIT, the team that's an hour and a half away.
Luckily this year, I think we got them here, so we're cutting out the 22-hour bus ride, which.
Yeah, that's definitely helpful. So, growing up, I played a little bit of baseball. I loved Alex Rodriguez, which is kind of like a controversial thing now. I still do. He's still my favorite player. But is there anybody that you think maybe you model your game after, that you really like what they do, or you kind of try and take bits and pieces of how they play or how they act and kind of project it?
Yeah, that's a loaded question because there's so many guys. You grow up watching. It changes every few years. I mean, I'm trying to think to the player that I think I am. I really take pride in defense. I like to think I'm a scrappy guy. Not all of us could be 6'5" and hit towering home runs. I mean, when I think of players, a local guy who I didn't really know until I came to college in this area was Tim LaCastro. He's like a god in the Auburn area, and he's a Division III guy down in Ithaca. I like because he hustles. I think he's got a bunch of hit by pitch records. So I mean, I think that shows
gets on base.
That shows toughness and grit. We all want to get home runs, hits, and all that, but sometimes he's got to do what is best for the team. I mean, defensively, he's pretty locked down. He's not an infielder, but and then I guess one other guy that comes to mind is Evan Longoria. He's a good defender, and then just going back to psychology, he's big into just kind of breathing and all that stuff. And I guess he had an underrated story. I think he went to a junior college first too. So I like the underdogs. But I mean, there's so many players. I mean, I could go on forever. But
yeah, I mean, I didn't know, kind of like you, till recently about Tim LaCastro. But yeah, it's a great story, and I'm a Yankee fan, so Longoria kind of it was a tough hitter for a while for the Rays. I don't know how much you follow. Do you follow professional baseball a lot?
Yeah.
So. Kind of coming up, I was talking about this with our athletic director. He's really hoping the season starts on time. Doesn't really look like it's going to. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I'm a big baseball fan. I don't follow the negotiations too much. I think it's just I don't think I'm
There's
smart. I don't think I'm smart enough to figure out all the financials. I'll watch them play. But from what I'm hearing, they always say like it's millionaires fighting billionaires.
Right.
And hopefully they could get on the field. I mean, I'm sure they have their reasons, but I mean, if that's the case, looks like people just got to check out Wells College baseball if there's nothing to watch.
We're going to be live streaming. They can tune in.
But no, hopefully they get things figured out. I'm a Dodgers fan, but
wow.
not a bandwagon. I go back when they had Matt Kemp and all. Andre Ethier was my guy growing up. But I mean, hopefully, because last year was awesome to see some fans in the stadiums. You know, got a little bit of a regular taste. Mm-hmm. So I mean, hopefully they figure that out.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That's one of the things, like, especially once like the NBA ends and now the NFL is over, you get like just the summer of baseball, and if that's gonna start late, it could be a little depressing. The other thing that comes up a lot and recently came up was like talking about the Hall of Fame. I know,
I think I know where you're going with this, right?
Right. So like we're not that far apart in age, but like we watch a lot of the same guys probably coming up, like McGuire, Sosa, A-Rod, Ortiz just got in. People like, well, I don't think Manny Ramirez is ever getting into someone like him. They have all sorts of like PED kind of accusations or anything like that. I really want A-Rod to get in, even though he's an admitted cheater. Yeah. Are you like against anyone that cheated getting in, or what are you thinking?
I hate to go against the grain on your opinion here. I'm not a big steroid guy. I don't know. I think it's just my uncles rubbing off on me as a kid. They were just anti-steroid dudes. I think they were kind of old school. But I mean, I see the argument though now. I mean, did they say they were going to stop testing too for a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know what that.
I was like,
that is.
If that's the case, that's like a slap in the face to Barry Bonds and all the guys who are not getting in. I mean, I think Pete Rose should be in first because I think what he did was not playing. I think it's controversial,
but like, so with Pete Rose, it was like they're like, okay, this is, you definitely can't do this.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And he did it.
The
steroid guys, it was like a gray area,
and
sort of, and they weren't necessarily testing, and then it came out that they. So I don't know.
It doesn't look good too for the MLB because like it kind of saved baseball in a sense. I mean, I wasn't alive, but apparently like it got people to watch. So I mean, throughout life, I've said, nah, they cheated. Like that, like Ken Griffey. I got the Mariners hat on. Everybody says he never took steroids. I'm like, that's how you do it. But I mean, as time goes on, I feel like they've changed the game. So I mean, like Barry Bonds was a stud regardless. If he was getting a little extra,
right. Yeah, getting that little extra half step on everyone, or more than a half step. But all right, well, we can agree to disagree.
I respect your opinion, though.
Thanks. So a few kind of like quick hitter things here. We're going to kind of go through things like this with hopefully all our guests so you guys can get to know everyone a little bit more. You touched on your favorite baseball team, Dodgers. Any other like professional favorite teams?
Okay, so like I said, football in high school, I love football too. My friends joke around, I'm like a football degenerate. On the weekend, I'll just watch football. Like, hey, Joe, you want to go out to eat? No, I'm sitting watching football. Yeah. So Giants, Knicks, oh man, they break my heart. I was watching the other day, then lost to the Nets. Coach Stevens a Nets fan too, so I'll probably rub that one in. But yeah, Knicks, Nets. Oh no, Knicks, Giants. Yeah. I love college football though too. I know I said the Giants, but I think there's nothing like college football. I mean,
I heard your coach, Coach Stevens, told me you're a big Pac-10 guy.
Oh yeah.
What's the deal with the Pac-10?
I don't know why. I think when I was a kid, I would sit home all Saturday. You watch the East Coast games, Midwest, and then late at night it's like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and there's always like UCLA or something. So I would stay up and watch those, and like it would be in the coolest settings, like Pasadena, California, Washington State. Yeah, I don't know why. Like people always ask, like, do you have a connection? I have a cousin who lives in California. That's about it. But I don't. Sort of
a connection.
They passed a lot, and I was a quarterback in high school, so I love seeing them throw the ball around the field. But
okay. As far as college football goes, I live in Syracuse, have all my life, so I'm sort of a Syracuse football fan. They're just not very exciting.
I mean, they've had some great hoops years, though. At least.
Yeah, definitely for basketball. So, what do you think? Like favorite food, like maybe I know on-campus food can go either way. But like if maybe after a game you're starving, you're like, man, I really want. What are you thinking?
Ooh, I think. Chicken is just so versatile. Like I feel like Mel Kiper's gonna go to the draft board. Chicken just does it all. I mean, fried chicken, like you could have just so many different ways.
Chicken fingers.
I mean, grilled chicken if you want to try to stay healthy. I think McDonald's used to have
Chicken wings?
Chicken wings for sure. Yeah, I know we're up here in upstate New York. Go a little west, they got right.
That's right. Yeah, the buffalo wings, of course. Yeah.
But I think, I had like chicken sandwiches. Oh man, from anywhere. It could be the dining hall. It could be from like a 5-star restaurant. Chicken sandwiches.
Are you involved in like the chicken sandwich wars between like Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, KFC? Do you have a favorite?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I think I just embrace them all. Like,
okay.
Chick-fil-A is pretty good. I used to work there in high school. That was one of my first jobs. So free food every day there. It's probably not healthy for me as an athlete, but
fine.
I couldn't pass it up.
Exactly. Do you have any favorite movies or TV shows? Anything that you like to binge?
I'm not a big TV show guy. There are two. Movies. Me and my teammates have watched ever since I went to college. I feel like that's what we do in our free time.
Yeah.
The Departed. Oh man, that ending's crazy. If you ever watch that one, I'm still trying to.
Try not to spoil it.
I'm just still trying to wrap my mind around that. As far as TV shows, Breaking Bad. I don't know why. It's just I stumbled upon that and got into that. And then lately, Ted Lasso. I never thought anything would pass Breaking Bad, but I think I'm gonna say Ted Lasso because it's just like happy, but like it's also deeper.
Yeah, I kind of came across Ted Lasso because I, of course, saw, I think it was an SNL skit that had him, or maybe it was a commercial playing the soccer coach. And I was like, all right, maybe this show will be funny. But like you said, it gets like a lot deeper, and you're like, well, why is this Ted Lasso show that's supposed to be a comedy making me like feel something so deep? It's really strange, but it's really good. So another recommendation for sure. And kind of the last thing. So if you're not playing baseball, if you're not in class doing homework, whatever, what are you usually doing? What are some hobbies?
That's the thing.
Are you a gamer at all? Like anything like that?
As a kid, just the sports games. Since I've been in college, I'm trying to think. I know that's the thing. I'm always like, I gotta find other hobbies in sports because if I go 2 for 2, 3 for 3, it's a great day. But you go 0 for 4, it could weigh in on you. So
take your mind off.
Yeah. So last spring, my sister had a ukulele, so I picked that up because I'm like the least musical one in my family. Everybody could somehow play guitar, and I just never got it. So it's only 4 strings, a little easier. So I play. I don't say I'm good, but I could play a few songs here and there. So I'm trying to get that going again as the season starts. Just we're gonna be on long bus rides. So
that's right. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if my teammates are gonna like it, but we'll have to bring it along.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, thank you for joining us. Any final comments? Any projections for the season other than making the playoffs? Like you said?
That's our goal, to make the playoffs, and I think we definitely can. We have a lot of talented guys. I think you're gonna see a real team effort. I think we have 31 guys are gonna be needed. In various roles, and I think just being a smaller school like Wells College, we're underestimated. Like when we play like the Liberty League schools like RIT, but I think that's awesome because it's great surprising people. Look at Tom Brady. I know we're tired of him winning,
right.
but he was once an underdog. So we're just gonna play with a lot of pride because we don't take it for granted. We're excited, ready to go.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us again. Maybe we'll do this again sometime, but we'll be back next week with either a coach or a player. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys soon.